What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak your mind, sports talk. All right, check it out. Little ride along right quick. So, I want to talk about Jamel Herring getting ready to fight Jonathan Oquendo and Shakur Stevenson and how he plays in it all of this. Now, of course, Jamel Herring getting ready to fight Oquendo this weekend. And I see Jamel Herring getting through that fight unanimous decision. I think I'm pretty confident that Jamel Herring to get through that fight. Oquendo's an experienced fighter. He's a Puerto Rican fighter. He's got quite a few fights under his belt, but I don't think that he has what it takes to beat Jamel Herring. Jamel Herring was just in a fight with Lamont Roach, and I don't like to use the triangle theory, but he's already been beaten by Lamont Roach, and just want to, just an opponent in common. When you look at an opponent in common, Jamel Herring and Oquendo fought Lamont Roach, but Jamel Herring was able to get the job done, whereas Oquendo wasn't. He actually lost the fight. So, with that being said, again, and at least from what I see in the ring, I think Oquendo's a pretty solid fighter, don't get me wrong. But I just think Jamel got more tools. And he's been getting better since he's been in that, since he's been around Bomac and Crawford and those guys. Moving on to Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson has just decided to vacate his 126 title. So with the delays and the pandemic and everything, he's getting too big for the division. And it's time to move up. Now, coincidentally, Jamel Herring, also, and these guys are always around each other, but he is the WBO champion at 130. So here's the thing. Jamel Herring will be immediately, per WBO rules, remember Crawford did it, Usyk's doing it now, which a lot of people's complaining about. Well, Shakur Stevenson also gets the option of being stated as the #1 contender for the WBO, which coincidentally is Jamel Herring's belt. Now, I look into this, guys, as something a little bit, I see other things happening here. Now, for some reason, if Jamel Herring was to lose to Jonathan Oquendo, then could we imagine that Shakur Stevenson is somewhat the cleanup man? You know what I mean? Bob Arum's a smart guy, and one thing's for sure, he has an eye for talent. He knows boxing. We got to give that to Bob Arum. And I'm thinking, like, what if Bob Arum is thinking that Jamel Herring may not make it past Jonathan Oquendo? You know what I mean? Now, if he's thinking Jamel Herring might not make it past Jonathan Oquendo, and he's slide Shakur Stevenson right into that spot perfectly to take that belt, bring it right back, right over there to top rank. And then again, too, Shakur Stevenson's a growing kid. And, so I'm just, being my conspiracy theory. But, to be perfectly honest, Shakur Stevenson's a growing kid. So, he can't stay at 126 forever. And he needs to move. He needs to move up. Now, you're going to get some people griping about the situation concerning this Shakur Stevenson move. You're going to get some gripes for sure, and I'm going to tell you what it's going to be about. Now, Shakur Stevenson Although, like I said, he's a growing kid, got to move up eventually. He can't stay that way forever. But everybody knows that Emmanuel Navarrete is on his way to 126 as well. And, that would have been an interesting fight for Shakur Stevenson to take before skedoodling on the 130. So I think the kid needs to move. If he feels like he needs to move, and he's vacating a belt to do it, exercising his number one contendership. So me personally, I'm not one to have any gripes over it or call it a duck, but I can guarantee that you're going to hear that narrative. Well, Shakur Stevenson was ducking that Navarrete smoke, but I mean, you always got somebody saying that, someone's ducking someone else. I will say this. It would have been very interesting for Shakur Stevenson to stick around just, a couple of fights and get in there and tangle up with Navarrete. Would have been a damn good title defense, too, before he left. So, you will have the people doing the chitter chatter when it comes down to that. I wouldn't advocate for that myself, and I wouldn't say that that's the case. I doubt that Shakur Stevenson has any worries or doubts when it comes to fighting Emmanuel Navarrete, but at the same time, I could say that it wouldn't have been bad if he would have stuck around and made that his last title defense before moving to 130. But the kid's young, he's growing, and we knew that this was going to happen. We knew that Shakur Stevenson wasn't going to stay small forever and stay at that small weight forever. So this is what it is. This is what it is. But man, Shakur Stevenson, Jamel Herring, that's pretty interesting. We got to see how Jamel Herring does in this Oquendo fight, which again, I'm pretty comfortable that he's going to take this unanimous decision. I doubt it's like a split or anything. I think Jamel Herring's got too much for this Oquendo. But could we see a Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson down the line? Be kind of strange to see that, but hey, this is boxing. Shakur's trying to become a 2-division champion really early. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson, because if he goes up and he gets into a fight with Jamel Herring and wins such fight, nobody trying to hear about Emmanuel Navarrete. But got to see how all this plays out. So I just wanted to drop that right quick, about the whole Jamel Herring, Oquendo, Shakur Stevenson situation. Just reading up on that. And y'all know how I always in this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.